for us, I think it's putting it in the hands of somebody that's what they do. Yeah, I'm good at managing my business, running my business. I've never thought I was that good at hiring, firing, and I would definitely not consider myself an expert in that field. So when we have things like that in our business, it's like hiring an accountant. We hire him because that's what he does. He's an expert. I don't think I would even consider my HR girl an expert in hiring and firing. She would call her our HR girl because she mainly does payroll, health insurance, some stuff like that. And the expense of hiring someone that doesn't work out, and we've had a lot of that because we're not that good at it, it just becomes really expensive. So putting it into somebody's hands who we would consider experts is what we do with a lot of other stuff. So that's why it works good for me there on that particular. Check in, so to speak, with the managers and say, how's it going? How are things working with St. Louis Staffing? It's what I've gotten back is just the basic things of businesses. They're returning the calls, they're following through, we're getting answers when we need them. If we need an employee in a bind, we're getting those quick, doing the interviews, picking one, and then if that one doesn't work out, boom, we got 3 more in our office, we're talking to them. So I think that's a big, and when we're down to where we're at, kind of down to the bone as far as with employees, we don't have a lot of extra time like we used to. We're down, as far as 25 people we're down, so we're all doing the work of 2 and 3 people. So it becomes more difficult to say, okay, let's get 5 people in here, interview them, and that staffing, the staffing has helped us with that big time. And I think it's probably, I don't know, it's definitely a convenience also for us, and that's worth paying for in my mind, so we can focus on what we're good at. The ones I've talked to in the past, I would say I didn't know any of them, so that's a big advantage. If you know the company and a little bit about them, and you're a little more comfortable. But yeah, there's a lot of companies, including staffing companies, that have called on me where you just don't get that warm fuzzy feeling of they're in it to try to help us be profitable and be successful. They're just trying to create sales, and most of them I think were commissioned. I'm guessing by the way they behave are commissioned salespeople, and so they didn't seem like they had my company in their best interest, and that's never a good feeling as an owner manager when you have that on a sales call. So I would say probably more than not that was the deal. We didn't use them in the past as we were smaller, but as we grow it becomes more important, and it really helps with the seasonality of our business, because being in the fireplace business, we have big spikes in our sales in the cold season, and we're all swamped, and then we're like, okay, we need another guy in the warehouse to help pick orders, ship, and we don't have the man hours to put that ad in the paper and run it and narrow 20 guys down to 5 and then do all the interviews. And because it all hits with that seasonality, that's been a huge advantage for us to just pick up the phone and say, I need a person. Oh, it's very important, and it's important with everybody in my building. I think they all would rather do business with somebody that we can create a relationship with, that when we need a favor we can ask a favor, that's a local business, that they may even know somebody locally that works at that company. So we try to do as much of that as we can. Being in the building business, it's fairly easy to do, and all our customers are local, and we try to get as many suppliers as we can, and it's just a big help when you need favors and when you need something in that pinch, in that seasonal period where, okay, we're busy, we're swamped, and then we're getting local O'Fallon, St. Charles County employees who like where they live. They're not going to move in 2 weeks or a month as soon as something else comes up. So I think it's always been a focus of ours to stay as local as we can.